Here's a live look at the current balance of power across the country. You can see it's going back and forth as this evening progresses. We're joined now by a political science expert. This is Lee Hanna from Wright State University. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me
tonight on this night. I'm wondering, first of all, your impressions as you're watching what's happening unfolding nationally.
Sure, yeah. So I think the Republicans are generally going to be pretty content with how this night turned out, but in a lot of ways it met expectations. The Republicans are really overperforming in the Senate. Most people thought they would hold it, but they've picked up, I believe, 3 seats now that have been called where Democrats have lost an incumbent. Meanwhile, I think the Democrats are going to do enough to win the House, but not this massive. I think you could maybe still call it a wave, but this kind of massive tsunami is certainly not in play at this moment, where the Republicans have really held serve in a lot of areas.
Let's talk about that for a second. So assuming Democrats take control of the House, this will be the first time that President Trump has not had a Republican majority in both houses.
Correct.
What do you see happening moving forward then with the House and the president? Because there's been a lot of tough rhetoric from the two sides going back and forth.
Yes, absolutely. And maybe one message from tonight is that I think Democrats and Republicans aren't really, they don't want to see just more of the tough rhetoric. They want to see some things happen. And so you would hope that after these opponents kind of lick their wounds, that they're going to talk about some areas where they can cross over. And so maybe that's either doing something about health care. I mean, I think it takes repealing the Affordable Care Act completely off the table, but perhaps knowing how some Republicans pivoted on pre-existing conditions, perhaps there's something there to even shore it up in some ways. We always talk about infrastructure, this kind of broad topic that perhaps could be addressed in a more bipartisan way. But yeah, it's definitely going to change the dynamics in Washington, where it looks like we're not going to have a Republican speaker and a Republican majority leader who can kind of work with the president. They're going to have to do some things that will pass a Democratic House. All
right, very good. Lee Hanna, professor of political science from Wright State. We're going to be checking back in with you to talk about our state and local races a bit.